For task 3, we are going to be using date functions. So I'm going to go ahead and enter my heading in here. And our first scenario is our boss wants us to display the vendor ID, invoice ID, the month and the day the invoices are due in the active invoices table, which is in the examples database. So to get the month and the day the invoices are due, we are going to be using the month function and the day function. And we're going to be looking at the invoice due date. So we're going to start by telling it to use examples. And we're going to select the vendor ID, the invoice ID, the month. Now this is the function, month. And we want it to look at the invoice due date column. We'll give it a little alias of month due. And because it's 2 words, I'm putting it in brackets, and I could also put it in single quotes. And then I'm going to use the day function to get my invoice due date, the day portion. And I'm going to display the column heading as day due. And all of this is coming from active invoices. Okay, so we're using the month function, we're using the day function, we've given the columns aliases, and we're specifically looking at the invoice due date column. So let's go ahead and execute. And you can see that it is showing us the month and the day due. So let's move our closing comment down. And our next scenario is the boss would like us to search for rows in the date sample table, which is part of the examples database. We need to look for rows that have a month of 10, a day of 28, and a year of 2019. So we're going to start by saying use examples. And we're going to select everything from date sample, which is our table, where, and this is where our date functions are going to be used, where the month of our start date is equal to 10 and the day of our start date is equal to 28 and the year of our start date is equal to 2019. So we're using the AND logical operator, which means all 3 of these have to be true in order for the row to display. And typically when you use an AND operator, it limits your results. So I do not expect to see very many rows. And we have 1. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move my closing comment down and save my changes.